going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to discuss 3.7s. I don't want to leave you guys out, so we're going to make a video to kind of help some of you guys who are just starting to modify your 3.7s. And I got some pointers out for you guys. So if you're someone with a 3.7, you're looking to get, you know, the best for your best bang for your buck and not spend a whole lot of money, because the 3.7 is really expensive to get power out of it. So there's only 3 things that I really recommend for a 3.7, maybe 4, and that's really where I would stop. Otherwise, you're going to be spending a lot of money and very little return. So if you have a 3.7 Q50 or G37 370Z, I welcome you guys to the channel too. Everyone's welcome. 3.7, it's a naturally aspirated engine, so it's only as good as it breathes. So with that being said, if you're someone who's just starting to modify your 3.7, I would recommend a few things, and those are, the first thing being a nice intake system. I try to stay away from any short ram systems that just sit in your engine bay collecting heat and really don't do a whole lot for you. So something that's in the neutral zone of factory style like intake, I believe Takeda makes one. That's by AFE. There's a couple of other companies that have an enclosed system for depending on what platform you have. But for the Q50, Takeda system is a really nice one because it keeps the factory housing style, so you're really not heat soaking a lot of stuff from the engine bay. But any of those short ram intakes are really not going to make a whole lot of power, guys. If you're in cooler temperature weather, cooler temperature zone within the country, by all means go for it. You won't feel it as bad. But if you live in California, Arizona, Florida, states like that, I would try to stay away from a short ram intake because it's really gonna heat soak. Based on the experience that I've had like 6 intakes on my 3.7, and none of them really performed the way they made them out to be. So I would highly recommend a nice intake system, wherever you decide to go, and also a nice exhaust system. So your 3.7 naturally aspirated is only going to be as good as it can breathe. That being said, intake, exhaust, and to top it off, whether you want to get some test pipes or high flow cats. Now, what's the difference? Test pipes typically are not going to have any cats. So if you get one with cat, it's going to be called a high flow cat. Otherwise, you can get resonant test pipes to kind of take away some of that high pitched noise you're going to get from deleting the cats in your 3.7. But delete the cats, get a nice exhaust system, and also a nice intake system, and tune it. Me personally, for the 3.7, I've been on EcuTech on the 3.7, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I seem to like UpRev better. I've been in a car with UpRev, and I'm only saying this because of the features that it had, but also a lot of the tuners who tune the 3.7 who are really good at tuning the 3.7 prefer UpRev for that reason, and I can see why. It has a lot of these ARC features are really good on the UpRev system, but there's nothing wrong with EcuTech. If your tuner has really good experience with EcuTech, you can also do the same. ECU Tech, EcuTech, however you guys want to call it. So honestly, beyond that, unless you really want to go that much faster, those are the only bolt-ons I would touch for a naturally aspirated 3.7. I had a 3.7. I did intake system. I did the intake plenum, the intake manifold, throttle bodies, exhaust, test pipes. I did some fueling upgrades, bigger injectors. I did a bigger fuel pump. I did all kinds of stuff, and the car didn't really feel all that fast. It felt faster with less stuff on it, honestly. And actually, I even put it on E85, which ultimately gained like 9 wheel horsepower at that. So I would honestly suggest just staying with basic stuff. But if you want to get some more power out of it, there's a couple options for you guys. I mean, you can put it on a bottle. The only issue with that is just be careful of the shot size you put on it. I would suggest a wet shot. Whichever shot size you select, make sure you get it tuned correctly with a respectable tuner. That's going to make the difference, in any kind of tune vehicle. So make sure you have a good tuner. There's a couple people out there on nitrous, and the cars haul ass. So that's an option. Another option is a supercharger. There's a couple of options up there for supercharger. I believe GTM makes a kit, and also Stillen. Stillen is famous for their supercharger V3 Vortex set for the Q50. So tuned on a 3.7, with a Q50 supercharger. I mean, it's still a supercharger, I'm sorry, with test pipes or a high flow cat and exhaust. You're looking at anywhere between 460 to 500 to the wheels on 9 pounds of boost, 8 pounds of boost, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Those of you guys were supercharged on 3.7, but that's roughly the numbers you're looking at. And the torque is only the torque being a supercharger, it's probably going to be a little bit less. So the numbers that I've seen are anywhere between 350 to almost 400 torque on that kind of boost. So 500 wheel horsepower and around 370 foot-pounds of torque. And those 3.7 Q50s comes with a really iffy transmission, I would say. I've seen some guys run, you know, their cars on supercharged for 60, 70,000 miles with no transmission issues, but I've seen some guys run it for 5,000 miles and already have, you know, slippage in fourth gear. So that's something else to also keep in mind. When you raise the power level from the factory, you also tend to, you're going to start having weak points in your car. So just make sure you keep that in mind, that you are in it for the long run when you do those types of modifications. But honestly, all in all, if I were to get a 3.7 naturally aspirated again, I would do a simple intake. I would do a nice exhaust system, probably some high flow cats, and a tune, whether it's up rev of EcuTech, and you're looking anywhere between 315 to 330 wheel horsepower, probably on an all-wheel drive car, and around 270 foot-pounds of torque. And that's really all you really need for a decently quick daily driver, if you're someone who's going to, you know, be having a 3.7 for a while. So that's personally what I would go with. But all in all, the 3.7 is a great platform. As my last two videos that I've shown on a 3.7, I've kind of reiterated how stable and how reliable that platform is. I mean, it has a huge fan base, enthusiast base across, you know, the country, the world, really. The VQ motors are legendary, so there's nothing wrong with having a 3.7, guys. Just make sure you watch your oil, maintain it well, keep your fluids all up to check, and you know, enjoy the car. Honestly, I wish I could have my 3.7 back and the 3.0. I like them both. I just can't have both at the same time. So with that being said, I hope this video helps you know, some of you guys out who are starting. You can comment down below if you want any suggestions on what exact brands you should go with for the 3.7. But all in all, the 3.7 has been around for so long that so many people have made parts for it that they're actually affordable. The 3.0, on the other hand, it's the new platform still. People are charging top dollar for parts, which is, you know, understandable. It's a market. So that's on the plus side. What you can do is, you know, if you have a 3.7, there's so many options out there. It's really up to you. Almost the quality is all the same, but if you got any suggestions on parts and whatnot, just comment below, and I can help you guys out with that. So with that being said, if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a like. Smash that subscribe button, guys. I enjoy, you know, always talking to you guys in the comments, Instagram, and whatever. So smash the subscribe button, like or dislike the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.